It happened in the middle of an ordinary dinner. Or at least, it was supposed to be. We were halfway through our meals, laughter from his friends filling the air, the clinking of silverware against plates, when he leaned in so close I could feel the warmth of his breath against my ear. "You're paying for everyone tonight. 30%, remember?" My stomach dropped. The words hit me like ice water. I froze in place, fork still hovering over my plate, a single thought repeating in my mind, "Not again." This wasn't the first time. But tonight, I had promised myself it would be the last. I'm 33 years old, engaged to a man who's 37. We've been together long enough to have seen each other's highs and lows, but we've never shared our finances. That was his choice from the start. I didn't question it back then. I believed in respecting boundaries, in letting each person manage their own money. It seemed fair. And for a while, it worked. But a few months ago, I got a raise, a good one. Suddenly, I was earning 30% more than he did, and that's when everything shifted. It started small, with little comments. 30%, remember? He'd say, with a smirk when we were out. Sometimes he'd toss it in like a joke. Sometimes he'd say it in front of others, his tone just sharp enough to make me feel guilty if I refused. Then it became a pattern. He'd invite me out, usually with his friends. The night would start lighthearted, fun, even romantic in the beginning. But at the table, when the server came with the check, he'd glance at me, expecting me to cover not just his meal, but theirs too. Whenever I asked why, his answer was always the same. "Because you make more than me, 30% more." I am not someone who likes to cause a scene. I hate public confrontation, especially in a restaurant, and he knew that. So I would grit my teeth, swipe my card, and smile as if I was happy to do it. Inside, I was boiling. When he invited me to dinner last Tuesday with his buddies, I was cautious. Before we even left, I told him clearly, "I'm not paying for your friends. Don't expect me to." He waved his hand and said, "I got this. No worries." For a moment, I let myself believe him. We arrived, greeted his friends, ordered our food. It was nice. The conversation was easy. The food smelled amazing. And for once, I thought maybe tonight would be different, until he leaned in with that whisper. I remember saying no, quietly but firmly. He just smiled, confident I wouldn't dare make a scene. His eyes held that same unspoken dare I'd seen before, the one that said, "Let's see if you'll actually refuse in front of them." I looked down at my plate, my pulse quickening. The rest of the dinner was a blur. When the checks arrived, they were already split, mine separate from the rest. I paid for my own meal, pushed my chair back, and told them I needed to use the restroom. Instead, I walked straight past it, out the door, into my car, and I drove away. My phone started buzzing almost immediately. First calls, then a flood of texts. "Where are you? Are you serious right now?" I told him, in one short message, that I didn't appreciate being manipulated into paying for everyone, that I told him no from the start, and that I had gone home. Then I stopped replying. An hour later, I heard his car in the driveway. The door slammed. His voice filled the house, loud and sharp. He called me selfish, irrational, a cheapskate, childish for sneaking out. He said I'd left him stuck with a bill he couldn't pay, that he had to call his brother to come bail him out. We argued, voices rising, words cutting deeper than they should have. He stormed out into the night. The next day, he told me his friends were disappointed in my behavior and that they'd advised him to reflect on the type of woman he's about to marry. I couldn't tell if they really said that or if he just wanted me to believe they did. His friends have never said anything negative to my face, but the hurt still settled in, heavy and cold. Later, he tried to justify it. He said the restaurant wasn't expensive, that I could have just paid. He admitted he didn't tell me until the middle of the meal because he knew I'd refuse. Even after all that, he still insists my reaction was childish and unacceptable. I keep thinking about the bigger picture. This isn't just about a dinner bill. This is about trust, about respect, about the fact that when I succeed, the person I'm supposed to build a life with doesn't celebrate me. He uses it as leverage. And I wonder, if I let this go, what's next? So, am I the asshole? Here's what I see from the outside looking in. This isn't just a story about dinner or money. This is about boundaries, the ones we set, and the ones people try to cross when they think they can get away with it. It's about the quiet ways someone can turn your strengths into weapons against you. You worked hard for that raise. You earned it. And instead of pride, instead of partnership, you were met with manipulation. Financial abuse doesn't always look like someone taking your paycheck. Sometimes it looks like a pattern of small asks that grow larger, combined with emotional pressure and public traps. It chips away at your autonomy, bit by bit, until you start to wonder if saying no makes you a bad person. It doesn't. Relationships are supposed to be about mutual respect, about celebrating each other's wins, not resenting them, about protecting each other, not putting each other in uncomfortable situations for personal gain. If someone uses your fear of conflict as a tool to get what they want, that's not partnership. That's exploitation. So maybe the real question isn't whether you were wrong to leave the restaurant. Maybe the real question is whether you should still be walking into a future with someone who treats you this way. What do you think? Was she wrong to leave? Or was this the only way to finally draw the line?